Call on the east, and the rising sun, and the fire in the east. We call in new beginnings. And ask that you would give us guidance on this day, that we would be able to follow the path of the eagle and the condor, that we would merge the masculine and feminine within all beings, in all timelines, dimensions, and universes, that we would find balance and harmony once more on this plane. We ask you, eagle and condor, to take us on your wings, flying to ever greater heights with you, Great Spirit. Oh, Mitaki Asin. Oh, Mitaki Asin. Oh, Mitaki Asin. Call on the south, and the earth, and the grounding in the south. We ask that you, Pachamama, would hold us in your heart of hearts, in the center of this Mother Earth, that we would stay grounded to your very core. We ask Pachamama, the Mother of Waters, Mother of Earth, that you would wrap your coils of light around us. And you would teach us to shed our old ways as you shed your skin. We call on you, turtle, and turtle medicine, that you would teach us with our familial ties and lessons, that we would stand strong, that we would be the ones where any generational trauma would end here with us, that we would hold the pain, the love, everything involved with our family, that we would hold a safe space for ourselves and for all those who need it. Ho Mitaki Asin, ho Mitaki Asin, ho Mitaki Asin. Call on the west, and the moon, and the waters in the west. We ask that you would teach us of our emotions and our emotional body as we learn to flow as the waters do. And we learn to become in harmony with the moon, with our Mother Earth, with the tides, with the shifting of the energies. We call on you, Okarango, Hampui Okarango, Mother Jaguar. We call on you, Brother Bear, Father Bear. We ask that you would teach us to be still in the cave of our own hearts, that we would know ourselves in truth, in depth, that we would have the courage and the bravery to stand for what we believe in. That we would be willing to go into that hibernation and to be born anew. Oh, Mitaki Asin. Oh, Mitaki Asin. Oh, Mitaki Asin. Call on the north, and the winds in the north. Call on you, Great Buffalo. Call on you, Kinti, hummingbird. Buffalo, we ask that you would teach us to be steadfast, and you would teach us your strength, that we would walk into the storms in our life, knowing that the fastest way out of the storm is through it. And we call on you, again, Kinti, Great Hummingbird Spirit, that you would teach us to fly only to the sweet nectar of life, to follow our highest joy. follow our highest excitement, knowing that we will be sustained by the abundance of Mother Earth, of all realms, of the ancestors. We call on the wisdom of our elders and the completion of our journey into maturity. Mitaki action. Mitaki action. Mitaki action. Call in the space of above. We call on our star family, our star families. Call on the Pleiadians, the Syrians, all those from Orion. We call on the Lyrians. We call on the Blue Avians. We call on the archangels. Call on you, Yophael, Zadkiel, Uriel, Hanael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uragel. We call on you, Michael, Sandelphon. We call on you, Metatron, to teach us to see. We call on all the archangels of the Most High, benevolent force that would seek to help us and all beings to reach their highest good. We call on the ancestors, 7 generations and before. Call on all 5-fingered beings who walk this plane, that they would walk in honor in a holy way. And we call on all those generations to come, 7 generations and beyond. We ask that you would walk with us. You would be with us here, that we would walk in a holy way, and that we would walk with and as the holy people. We call on the holy people, We call on the aspects of the divine feminine, white buffalo calf woman. Call on you, green Tara. Tare tu Soha. On you, Ma Durga. Dum Durga Ya Namaha. We call on Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, all the members of the Sophia Dragon tribe, and all aspects of the divine feminine. We ask that you will walk with us, sisters, mothers, grandmothers. We thank you for all that you've done for us. We call on the aspects of the divine masculine. Call on Yeshua, call on Buddha, call on Krishna, Shiva. Brothers, fathers, grandfathers. We thank you for your service, for your direction, for your strength, and all that you have done for us. We thank you, Father Sky. Call on the space of below. We call on you, Amaru. The great multidimensional mother who swims between densities, who goes to the deep earth and the unknown, the womb of creation from which all things are born. We ask that you would teach us again in the astral and the lower planes, as you swim, that we would learn to be reborn and shed our old ways as you have taught us, as you shed your skin, great mother. We call on the wisdom of the unknown and chaos of creation, that we would stand in the eye of the storm, grounded, that our roots would go to ever greater depths, that we would stand firm in our direction, in our knowing. And thank you, Great Mother. Oh, Mitakuyasin. Oh, Mitakuyasin. Oh, Mitakuyasin. Call in the space of within. Call on you, Great Spirit, Creator. We ask that you would be with us and hold space in our hearts. That all beings everywhere, that all would remember themselves in truth as the sacred, as the divine, as the Most High in the kingdom of heaven in all of our hearts, experiencing ourself. That we would remember all things as a reflection of us in this great mirror that we get to experience. We thank you, Great Spirit, for our lives. We thank you for all experience that has taught us, all of our setbacks, all of our triumphs. What an honor it is to walk this life. Oh, Mitakuyasin, we thank you. We love you. Oh, Mitakuyasin. All right, got a little sacred space open for everybody, and we're gonna do a little reading today. And I'm gonna be working with the energies of the medicine wheel, all the energies that we just called in, and we're gonna kind of follow their guidance. I like to read intuitively, so things aren't always necessarily the energies that the standard definition of the cards are, but we're gonna go with the heart and whatever we feel today. So thank y'all for joining. So I will start by pulling a couple of tarot cards. We're gonna go around the 4 directions of the medicine wheel, and we are going to also pull a card that represents ourself, and then it will be the energy of the new beginnings. Then we will go to the south to our familial ties, our adolescent process. Then we'll go to the west of the maturation, the maturing process, and the going into our heart cave and understanding ourselves more deeply. Then we'll go to the north and we'll connect with that wisdom of completion. And then we will do a card as well to connect us with the spaces of above, below, and within. And then we'll see if there's any additional clarification that's needed, and we will go from there. So thank you and blessings to you, family. Great Spirit, we ask that you would help lead us and guide us with any information that would help us to reach our highest expression, our highest self-embodiment. And you would help us to know how we would be the best vessel for you to move through us, that we would walk in a holy way, in a full and whole way for the people, for all beings, for Mother Earth, for the plant nation, for the stone nation, for the star nation, for the animal nation, for all of the nations, that we would find wholeness once more on this plane. Okay. So the card that we are pulling for representing ourself in this is the 6 of Wands. Now this card to me means that we are in a space of celebration and a space of arrival, of our time in the limelight, our time to shine, and receiving the recognition from those around us and from the ability that we have to hold space for others is what is lifting us up on this white horse, on this sacred divinity that is holding us up. This honorable, powerful strength that allows us to walk with this grace. That is a beautiful, beautiful energy to represent where we are at currently. Great Spirit, we ask that you would assist us with understanding these new beginnings that you're guiding us towards, and that this card would help those to understand which direction that they would need to go from this point forward. Temperance. We have temperance. With this card, I am feeling a very angelic presence with this. It's telling me that our wings are arriving with this new beginning. And you can see the lines coming out up here, almost in a halo form. That's telling me that our new beginnings are stepping into a place of holiness, of wholeness, of being that walking example, and of being what you would consider an angel on earth, and allowing ourselves to put our feet in the water and to connect with the energies of Mother Earth, to be both connected to the earth and to the angelic realms and to the higher realms, and that we have this beautiful interconnection of the two, that we are flowing and building that bridge with this new connection between the higher realms and this physical density. So I believe that we are being called to step into that space of being an earth angel and walking in a holy way. Oh, that is beautiful for the East. And next, Great Spirit, Creator, we ask that you would assist us with any guidance for the South here, for our adolescent process of transformation, of shedding old ways and old skins and stepping into the person whom we've always been meant to be. That we would learn all of our ties from the family, and that we would be able to hold a safe space for these lessons. And friends and family, we have the Three of Swords here. And what this tells me is that there has been significant heartbreak in regards to our family. And my intuition is telling me that this is something that has been in our lineage, that has carried. There has been a deep sense of sorrow and pain, and that could stem from our ancestors not being able to follow their truth and their path, and that there was so many structures of society that had suppressed them. And this is sort of a broken-hearted, heavy, dense energy that has been passed down through generations. And what this is telling me is that this is our lesson of rebirth, of being able to hold this pain in our hearts in a safe way, holding a safe space for our familial pain and allowing that to be transmuted through us as we follow our dreams, as we follow the path of the Most High, of the Great Spirit, of the Holy Spirit, of the Great Mother that resides within the heart of ourselves, of every single one of us. And that through remembering ourselves in this truth is allowing us to shed our skin and to be reborn anew. That's beautiful. And we call on you, Great Spirit, to show us the lessons of the West. And this card just jumped out, so we're gonna go with that. The 8 of Pentacles. Excuse me, the 7 of Pentacles. And you can see men resting here. Almost like taking a break, looking at everything that he has been building. And I believe that that's what this is calling for, is for us to take a second to be grateful for this maturation process and to look at how far that we have come, and to look at this beautiful growing that is blossoming for us, to really give ourselves that credit and that understanding of all the hard work and effort and everything that we've done to be able to reach this point, and to take that time to reflect and to pamper ourselves and to be grateful to ourselves and to every version of ourselves that helped us to get to this point. You deserve it, family. Show yourself that love and appreciation. Every version of ourselves is just as worthy of that appreciation. Specifically the parts of ourselves that didn't know any better at the time, that may have struggled, that may have felt guilt or shame for the things that they had to go through to hold that space for us to be able to learn. So give yourself grace and gratitude, family. I love you. Beautiful. Finally, Great Spirit, we ask that you would teach us of the North and the lessons of the completion process on this physical plane here. What is your guidance from the lessons of the North? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Now the Knights, my understanding, are the fastest moving cards. And the Pentacle represents abundance and physical rewards for everything that we have put in. This is telling me that following this guidance and stepping into this place of being seen and allowing ourselves to be that earth angel, to transmute all the pain of our ancestral lineage, to understand all the work that we've put in and how it's built this life for us, understanding ourselves in truth and gratitude is going to lead to this abundant prosperity coming in quickly. And now this isn't saying that this is the absolute highest abundance, but this is saying that we are moving up in a quick way, that we have some acceleration, that we are speeding up into a life of abundance through this sacred walk that we are on. That is a beautiful, beautiful place to be in, family. Aho. Great Spirit, we would ask that you would give us guidance from the space of above For this family, we would use the Starseed Oracle deck. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. And we will see the guidance that we receive. From the higher realms here. We call on the higher realms, the archangels, the guides, the star families. We ask that you would show us the way and the guidance from the higher realms. So what we have here is the Lost Lands. And this says soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. And right here, I see what looks like a great stargate or portal. And what this is telling me is that you have multiple avatars and simultaneous lifetimes that are reaching out through the realms to come together in a sense of wholeness, to bring your gifts from all these different lifetimes and eons of existence, and that we would bring in our knowledge and come to a cumulative culmination of ourself in wholeness. And this is calling for reflection and stillness and meditation, and to open up space and to be willing to put in that effort to connect with those parts of ourselves that have been forgotten, but that have always been with us. Aho mitakuyasin. Thank you, all my relations. Oh mitakuyasin. We call on the space of below. We ask, Great Mother, great womb of creation, the densest and darkest and lowest and heaviest parts of ourself, and the parts of ourself that we may have not shown the grace and the love and the peace and the joy to. We ask that you would give us guidance on this next phase of our journey of humanity. And what we have here, family, is after the storm. And what this shows to me is a sun, a great sun behind it, with the owl coming forth. And this reminds me of wisdom and the goddess of Athena. And I believe that this is a Sri Yantra of sorts, almost a 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional version of it that is down here on the bottom, that is being carried by this owl. And that tells me of a merging of divine masculine and divine feminine, coming into a place of unity and wholeness. And that we have been through a great many storms in our life. That we have been planted, though, that this darkness was us being a seed planted deep within Mother Earth, and that this is a storm that has rained down on us, but it has caused us to sprout into something beautiful. And that taking the wisdom of this burial, of this deep, heart, gut-wrenching rain, is what is allowing us to have this new beginning and to hold that grace and the healing energy and the safe space for all those who need it. Thank you for all that you have done and all that you have been through. What an honor it is. Aho. Finally, Great Spirit, I call to you once more for your guidance. For your guidance, we're going to use the Medicine Heart Oracle from Alana Fairchild. This is a brand new deck for me. I've only pulled from it one time. So for this, brothers and sisters, it's going to be brand new for me as it is for you. And we ask for your guidance, Great Spirit, from the place of within, from our heart of hearts. What is it that we would need to know for this journey moving forward? If you can provide us any context on what is important for us and for all people that are walking this path back to wholeness. We have taboo. See here? So what I see here is a woman with her face painted, almost unruly hair, a hummingbird flying back behind her, a skull on her head with feathers. And this is telling me that within us is asking for that wild nature, that pure expression, that unencumbered truth to be allowed to flow from us freely, that we would no longer allow these societal cages to be placed on us, that we would allow ourselves to fly free, unencumbered, as the wild, true, untamed version of ourselves. And that in doing so, this will bring all of this energy and this triumph into this next chapter of our life and in humanity as a whole. And I would like to read this card here I'm being called to. So we're going to take a look and see what the book has to say here for taboo. It says, your authenticity may require that you purposefully disengage from social convention and the various belief systems of mass consciousness. Create space between you and that which would constrain rather than inspire and motivate your soul to realize and express its truth. Spiritual maturity drives the soul to liberate itself from socially mandated moralities in order to seek and live by heartfelt integrity. Only a soul willing to journey beyond the societal pressure to conform becomes able to experience the sacred and understand the spiritual laws that govern its preservation, that govern its preservation. Such a soul can nourish society with its wisdom, something that cannot occur if the soul is hampered by fearful compulsion to adhere to imposed belief systems. There is a great source of spiritual power available to humanity. Access to such potency requires willingness to abandon herd mentality, trust the heart, and live life in alignment with deeper values of the soul and the spiritual laws of the universe. Do not allow fear to confuse or distract you from your soul path. Taboo, or taboo, derives from the Polynesian word tapu. In Tonga, it refers to that which is simultaneously forbidden or cursed and inviolable. Not sure what that means, but forbidden or cursed and filled with sacred power. In Tahiti, tapu is that which is restricted and sacred and also an oath. In the culture of New Zealand, it denotes that which is prohibited under ritual restriction. In Hawaii, the term kapu describes that which is sacred and holy and also prohibited. The original meanings of this word reveal a deeply embedded cultural understanding of the necessity to uphold recognition and respect for the sacred. It is demarcated from the regular activities of society. It is guarded, protected, and revered. In increasingly secularized societies, where connection to the sacred is not socially codified and is readily dismissed as baseline superstition, the initiate has to summon the wisdom and strength to seek, uncover, and honor their sense of the sacred. They must restore the essential divine nutrient to the soul and have the courage to stand upon their own spiritual ground, even though their peers and loved ones may not understand what they are doing or why. To see something that many others do not see, to value that perception and act upon it, requires courage of conviction. It may involve a prolonged testing period that challenges the soul to not cave to self-doubt in the absence of external validation. The heroic-hearted initiate senses the illusion of safety, comfort, ease, and conditional happiness that accompanies the choice to live within the confines of society within which one has been raised. Moving within the consciousness of the masses may initially appear to keep the soul in a relatively safe and steady middle ground. Life may seem easier when one doesn't rock the boat, so to speak. Yet the initiate cannot help but feel spiritually inspired to venture beyond that known world. Even though there will be tests, challenges to confront, and a need for courage, there is a sacred primal need of the shamanic soul path to outgrow convention, to overcome the fear that bonds one to externally driven value systems, to let the soul expand and breathe more freely, touching into the far fiercer, kinder, wiser, and more vitalizing powers of the expansive spiritual dimensions. The shamanic soul yearns for expansion and depth, beyond safety-sanctioned society. This yearning is to become the fullness of one's own being and expression. This is the inner spiritual imperative. The process is arduous, yet to avoid the call and settle for the consensus reality results in far greater suffering, a slow suffocation of the spirit and descent into despair. When the soul is willing and the preparation is sufficient, there is a drawing recognition that the confines that once felt safe will become the confines that suffocate the life that needs to be lived. The soul must break free, face the peril, become wise, and become what it was born to be. To chart one's own course, guided by spiritual light rather than societal convention, is the task of modern soul, born into a society where the sacred has been relegated to folklore or is stifled in doctrine, if considered at all. In societies where taboo has become denuded, where taboo has been denuded of the sacred and is simply about oppression in the guise of morality, the awakening souls face an important task. It must first disengage from mainstream consciousness, and secondly discern how to recognize, honor, and express sacredness in a contemporary context. Essential to this process is the willingness to explore natural spiritual law and apply it for healthy self-regulation. Spiritual freedom is not about becoming anarchist or escapist. It is about outgrowing morality as one gradually assumes responsibility for the self and individual empowerment. For a constructive outcome to occur through the potentially perilous path of personal power, spiritual maturity is required. Recurring danger arises on such a journey, and the temptation to legitimize all personal action rather than recognize when we have fallen short and violated the spiritual law that informs the maturing soul's innate values. There is, at the other extreme, a temptation to doubt oneself so profoundly that the confidence and boldness of heart required to make spiritual progress is unintentionally undermined. Affirming sacredness and the spiritual laws that protect it with reverence and humility provides the soul with the moderating boundaries it needs to avoid the delusion of self-aggrandizement and self-abnegation. Honoring sacredness provides the soul with the boundaries of taboo necessary to love our humanity, whilst recognizing and growing through our inevitable stumbling without undue harshness. Taboo is the guardian of the soul path for individuals inwardly compelled to venture beyond societal status quo, learning how to navigate the conditions and demands of the outer world with the inner need for authority, freedom, and truth. How does one honor the desire to discuss sacred matters, yet also know when to be silent with what needs to remain solely, privately, and intimately held within your heart? How can one be constructive, creative, compassionate member of society, wholly aligned in the truth of one's inner nature? Reflection and choices on such matters create a terrain of taboo in your own spiritual interior. Do not fear these complexities. This is the inner work that generates spiritual substance, which serves as your sanctuary, your place of respect, reverence, and truth, strength. Taboo is your recognition of the necessity of sacredness. It is your antidote to the exhausting, unnatural pursuit of unlimited individual success wrought at any cost. Taboo supports your empowerment and spiritual freedom to set your course according to your own wisdom and values, in the way that you derive them from the spiritual law that govern our universe and are demonstrated daily in the wisdom of Mother Earth. The oracle speaks of a time when you must have the courage to move beyond where society is at, leaning into a deeper knowing housed within your heart. Your guardianship of the sacred in your life is an expression of the spiritual respect and reverence which generates far-reaching benefit for humanity and our planet. This tells me, brothers and sisters, it is time to step into your power and to allow yourself to be seen, that you would remind others of the sacredness, the divinity, the power, the strength, the wisdom, the grace within their own hearts, that you be willing to be that outcast, that wanderer, whatever is necessary for you to stand in your own truth. Oh. We ask finally, Great Spirit, Great Mother, Pachamama, that you would give us guidance for an animal totem that would be walking with us at this time currently, that would help us to realize this energy. I'm going to take this top one that fell out. I'll be right back. I gotta go catch something that flew off. What we have here, brothers and sisters, is the spider, the great weaver. And what this is telling me is to weave your web, knowing that whatever is necessary for your sustaining, for your sustenance, will be provided to you. That the Great Spirit is asking you to cast your net out at this time and have faith that the Great Mother, the Great Weaver, will bring you everything that is necessary for you to walk this path. The Great Spirit may not always give us what we want as a personality, as a body, but it will always give us what we need to walk our path. What an honor it has been to read for you today, family. I love you.